Junior Investigating Paranormal Society, first national paranormal organization created and ran by teens. Investigating for over 6 years, the team gives you a unique perspective on investigating the paranormal. They are now offering courses online or in person on investigating and developing your mediumship skills. For more information, contact John Covey at 540-560-9190 or email them at jips.pa@gmail.com. Participants must be 13 or older with parental consent. Welcome to Within the Chaos with your host,
Rodney Shortridge,
and co-host,
Robin Dalton.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. You can listen in by calling 516-387-1922, or you can go to the Vibe Radio Network website at blogtalkradio.com/Vibe Radio Network. From deep within the heart of the Appalachian Mountains, I'd like to thank everyone for listening to Within the Chaos. My name is Rodney Shortridge, and I'll be your host tonight, along with my fiery redhead, Robin Dalton.
Hey, y'all.
Tonight, our special guest is Charlie Clevenger. CC is the chapter leader and investigator of Black Diamond Paranormal, Abilene, Virginia chapter. A couple announcements. BDPS, along with Within the Chaos, will be at the first.
Rod. Losing you bad.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can.
Okay. I don't know what the hell's going on with this thing the past few weeks, but anyway, the Bigfoot conference is tomorrow, the 26th, and Saturday, 27th, located at the Hungry Mothers Park in Marion, Virginia. So everyone, come on out and meet the professional Bigfoot hunters and researchers, along with some amazing exotic animals that will be there for everyone's enjoyment. Excuse me. Also, everyone's invited to attend the 25th Annual Coal Miners Reunion. It will be held at Pocahontas, Virginia on Monday, Labor Day, September 5th. Everyone, check out the HPI like page on Facebook for more information. Also, Black Diamond Paranormal Society, along with the historic Pocahontas Inc. and the town of Pocahontas, will be hosting the fifth annual Pocahontas Haunted Tours on October 1st. Hours will be from 1 p.m. to 1 a.m., located in Pocahontas, Virginia. This year, we are excited to have the Vibe Radio Network come on and join us with many talents from the network. We have also some exciting news that we'll also be able to have night tours within the cemetery, and also we will be adding the Opera House and jail and courthouse to the tours. And also BDPS, along with Within the Chaos, will also be at the Bluefield Autumn Jamboree Saturday, September 10th. So I think I covered it all, Robin. So how was your week?
Busy. As you can tell, because it's been several days you've tried to get a hold of me. But where I started my new job, I get lots and lots and lots and lots of hours. So, as a matter of fact, I'm just coming off a 16-hour shift from yesterday. I went in yesterday and didn't get home until this morning. And haven't had any sleep, so bear with me tonight if I stutter and can't speak plain.
Hell, neither one of us can speak plain. It don't matter whether we sleep or not.
This is true.
I don't know how many times I've been sitting in a meeting or just talking and be like, blah, blah, blah. Or hell, even here on the show. How many times I fuck up here?
We're like, huh?
What the fuck did he just say? Well, I guess we won't bullshit no more. We'll go ahead and get Mr. CC on. So it's my honor to welcome our special guest, CC Clevenger. Hello, CC, and thank you for joining us tonight, bud. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Rodney. How y'all doing tonight?
We're good.
Pretty good if we
good.
could speak fine.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out a little bit on me.
I don't know what's going on.
No, I can hear you now. There you go.
Okay. Well, CC, tell us a little bit about yourself, bud.
Well, I was born and raised in Elkton, Maryland, Cecil County, Maryland. I'm 38 years old, married. I'll be married 7 years this November coming up. I'm a professional singer, professional wrestler, and I run the new group here in Abingdon, Virginia, which until tonight, I was grand release of our new name is Southern Harmony Paranormal over here in Abingdon and Glade Springs, Virginia, under the Great Black Diamond Paranormal Society.
Oh,
so
it's your time.
Go ahead, brother.
Rod.
Do I? Yeah.
Yeah, you're still cutting in and out. But yeah, our new name over here is Southern Harmony Paranormal. So we have some T-shirts and stuff coming out soon. It's got a little skull with the music staff, and it's going to be black and pink with our logo. So that's pretty cool, man. That's what me and my partner Holly came up with.
Awesome.
So we're really excited to be a part of Black Diamond Paranormal.
We're glad to have you all on. I mean, we're honored to have you all. I mean, and to expand out like this, it's nothing but good things down the road for everybody.
That's right. And you know that this is a great thing to get into. I've been into paranormal stuff pretty much all my life. I've had instances where, you know, my heart stopped when I was a little boy traveling with my parents in the car. My mom had to get my heart started back up. I've been in 2001, I got diagnosed with a 1,463 blood sugar. I was over 615 pounds. Went into a coma. And during the coma, I experienced a lot of paranormal or, you know, spiritual stuff there. So I think with the near-death experiences and the stuff like that, it's really opened me up to the spiritual side and the paranormal, you know, to bring all the sensations in. So it's been something my whole life. You know, I've always had health issues. I had a heart attack in 2008, but I'm still up and moving around and wrestling and singing and doing all that, good Lord willing.
So you kind of touched on it a little bit. So why did you get into the paranormal? Was it because of the issues you had?
I got into paranormal because it fascinated me. I've been into it. My mother's told me stories of her seeing her grandfather on an old farm when she grew up, when she was younger, how she would go out in the back and she'd see the full figure of her grandfather smoking a pipe out by the old tree. And when she went over there to check it out, she could smell the pipe smoke. And, you know, I've had other family members tell me about going to the old racetrack up in Maryland, and there was a man that crashed his car and died there. And they could, if you go there at midnight, you could hear motors and cars running. So I've been interested in the paranormal world for a long time. And, you know, in my demeanor, I love to help people, and I love to take care of people. That's pretty much what I've done my whole life. I've worked in hospitals and nursing homes, and I grew up pretty much bullied by older kids for being an oversized gentleman, so I grew up around older adults. So I've always got the demeanor to help the elderly and help the sick and everything. So, you know, if I could help anybody out, if somebody's having a problem, if somebody's having an issue, or they just want questions answered, I've always thrown myself out there to give the first go at it. So most of the time it's just to help somebody out.
Rod.
I'm here. It's your
but
turn.
I really love it. I really love to just go into a place, you know, because we don't charge anything to go in these places. We do it just because we love it. You know, and we like to go in, and 99% of the time we look for things, you know, like to try to debunk everything. But with that 1%, if you can catch 1% on camera that you can't explain, that is just like that awesome moment where you can't explain it and you got it, you document it, and you're just like, wow, we got something.
Yes,
But,
that is an awesome feeling.
Yeah.
So,
and yeah, go ahead.
So do you have any special skills or talents that help you during investigation?
I do. I feel things. I'm really sensitive to energies. I can sense things when they're around me. I'm really, really sensitive. I can feel. It's almost like, example-wise, we did the American Legion in Bristol last week, and I could tell there was something walking up behind me, and I could just feel, all my hair would stand up. I felt like just the pressure, because I actually got the sensation of being touched on my shoulders and back. I sat in the middle of the room with my eyes closed, and I was seeing things. I was seeing faces, and I could actually go into the room. There's a little picture room there at the American Legion, and I actually saw pictures on the wall of the people I was seeing when I had my eyes closed.
Wow. That's
so.
Cool.
It's just something that is built over time and built over the years. It's taken a long time to actually sit there and, try to harness it and realize what it actually was, because I never knew all these years what it would be.
Right. Well,
but I think it's just totally awesome.
It is. So would you say, some people have preferences of where they investigate. Do you have a preference of whether you investigate residential or commercial properties?
Well, it really doesn't matter to me where we investigate. I feel a little bit more comfortable at commercial because, when you're going into somebody's home, that's their private space. So,
right.
I feel like sometimes I don't want to violate somebody's personal space unless they're really having some problems. And, because most of the time we ask the people to go out while we investigate, and I feel a little bit unease when you go into somebody's home, private home.
Right.
But I will. If somebody's having a really bad time, if somebody's getting hurt, like say if there's children involved, and they have questions about their children, feel uneasy, they don't want to be in the house, I'll definitely go in there and try to get those children to get an answer for them so they will feel safe in their house,
Yeah, exactly.
So what made you decide? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yes, sir. No, go ahead.
So what made you decide to start your own chapter down there, BDPS chapter in Abden?
Well, it was it was actually somebody else's idea to start it, and I was interested. So I went to a meeting of theirs, and I liked some of their ideas, but I didn't agree with a whole bunch of them. So when the opportunity arose, I told them what I had for ideas. I told them the way I would handle things, and slowly they realized that I knew what I was talking about. I knew that the procedures and the policies that we would have to go through, just the planning, because I always like to plan way before we go to a place. And they were talking about just jumping into it, and they were doing it for the wrong reasons, pretty much. So it progressed from one group to where I said, you know what, if I'm going to do this, then I'm gonna just step off to the side from you guys, and I think I want to take the reins and do it the right way. So that's pretty much how it happened over in this area.
So, what are your plans and goals for your chapter? What do you see in the future for your group?
Well, I have a great partner, Holly Minton, and she does a lot of research, and she's actually sensitive to the paranormal world. Myself, what we want to do is we're not wanting to do an every week thing. We like to pick one case a month, and really research it out a lot, and just, put our all efforts and everything into that one case. That way, when we go into it, we're planned, we're ready, and we'll have everything we need, and just we'll have a great investigation. So we want to start. We just started out. We want to start slow, and hopefully in the future we'll have bigger places. We'll have. We're shooting for at least 2 more team members for our group. Right now we're a duo. We'd like to have at least 4, and just build the group within. Because I have other things, other activities that I do also, other than the paranormal group. So I have all the confidence that Holly will be able to take the reins if I have to go other places and things.
Well, I know you do have Holly, and you mentioned, recruiting a few more members. What qualifications are you looking for possible new team members?
Well, for one, just like an interview process, I like to sit down with them. They got to be trustworthy. I mean, that's the key. And I know when I talk to somebody the first time, if I can trust them or not. As far as just the first time meeting them, I've got to be able to get along with them too. I mean, you've got to have a great personality. You've got to be a team player. Because in this field, I believe that a team is what actually wins the game. You got to be able to depend on the people that's with you. You got to depend on people who actually take this seriously. Because if you have somebody going in there who's like a glory hound or is faking it, then it ruins everything. So
exactly.
The biggest things for me is trust. You have to have a team personality. And then willingness to learn. I mean, because everybody's always learning. You never stop learning about this paranormal thing, this paranormal universe. There's always something to learn. So if you come into the group saying that you know it all, then you're just not good for the group.
Exactly.
Well, here's what I'm going to kind of okay. The question is done, but you have Holly and Ron has me.
I can barely hear you, Robin.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, get out of the bathroom.
Well, what I was going at is, how do you feel about working with strong women within the organization? I know some people, they don't like a strong woman, a leading woman, and I'm out there, Brianna's learning, and Holly's out there. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I feel great about it. You're trying to get me in trouble, I can just tell. But no, I feel great about it. I you know what? I depend on them more, and I trust them more and in their opinions and their feelings and thoughts, because women to me have more feeling and sense, and they sense things more, because for like the motherly sense that you have when your child is hurting or your child's feeling bad, it goes along with the paranormal side too. I mean, they have more sense, more feeling, and they can push you in the right direction, the right path that you need to be on. I'm nowhere near this is a man's world, because we know different. All the guys know on here, I hope they do, that the women take over 99% of the time. So even though you don't want to admit it, right, Rodney?
Oh, hell, I'll admit it. Hell yeah, you're right, man. I got your back, bro.
Good answer. I like that answer. I love Holly. I think she's going to do wonderful. And I know that some people have had issues with working with women before in this field, and I like to ask and make sure.
Oh, no, not at all. I think that she'd be a great leader for the group when I'm going. I am a professional musician. I do have some great news coming up. We're not allowed to release anything yet, but it's awesome news for my people back home in Maryland and for Glade Springs in Southwest Virginia. Whenever I'm allowed to tell about it, we're going to get something else rolling too. So I mean, it's going to be great for everybody.
Awesome.
Well, that's great.
So I mean, it's waiting my whole life for it. So I mean, it's something that's great coming up.
Well, have you had any paranormal experience that is just this really extreme that just sticks in your mind that you could talk about?
Absolutely. Actually, the home I'm living in now, we have there's something we have. I live in a trailer, and it's like a 14 by 74. We have a room that we converted into a computer room. Well, it was a bedroom. Now we have something in there now. My wife and I were asleep. It was 3 o'clock in the morning. There's a ceiling light with a glass bulb. I mean, those things are really thick. I think they're about 2 inches thick. That's up on the ceiling. It's about, I don't know, say about 14, 15 feet off the ground. We heard a loud crash one night, and it woke up. We have 2 puppies, so and they say the animals are really sensitive to things too. That thing hit the ground. The dogs stood on the bed in attack position. Now, my 2 dogs are spoiled rotten. They have a posturepedic dog bed they sleep on. They never harm. They lick you to death. These 2 dogs stood on end with their hair standing straight up in attack mode, screaming and wailing at something in the kitchen. We went out there, and the glass bowl dropped all the way to the floor. No scratches, no breaks, no nothing. All right, so I put it back up on, got the chair, got back up there, screwed it back in with new screws, went back to bed. The dogs calmed down, everything. We went back to sleep. An hour later, we hear a loud crash again, and this was loud, like somebody just shot the house up with bullets. We go back out there. The same bulb fell again down to the floor, didn't break. Just hit the counter, bounced off the counter, hit the floor without breaking, no scratches, no nothing. So, put it back up again. An hour later, we go back in there, boom, again, on the floor, and then we hear a smash. The thing came down again, hit the counter, hit the floor, but then a glass fell off the counter and smashed all over the floor. And that glass was about 2 feet on the counter, on a towel, so it wouldn't slide at all. The towel was completely dry. The glass fell off the counter and smashed all over the floor. So I'm just like, okay, well, there's something going on here.
Damn.
So, we have equipment, and we go into, I just go into, okay, let's do this. I'm in the searching mode now. My wife's cleaning up the mess, and I'm going all over the house. I have downing rods. I have EVP stuff. I got thermal imaging stuff. I got a spirit box going on. And I'm like, somebody's in here, and I'm going to find out who's keeping me awake tonight. So I'm just going around. I didn't get any answers, but when we went back to the computer room, there's a 4-foot by 4-foot area that's dominant. That's the EMF pump stayed at a 3.0 the whole time. You move it away, you move 2 feet away, it went down to a 0. But you scan across this 4-foot by 4-foot spot, it stays at a 3.0. I did that for an hour, just moving around the room, and I measured the spot. It's 4-foot by 4-foot. So we've got something in my house right now that I have no clue. I took the spirit box actually a couple hours ago, and it said Diablo, and it wanted my soul. So I don't know what I did to make it mad, but there's something in my house now that wants to eat my soul up. So, I must have made it mad or something. I don't know what I did.
It sounds like it. Damn.
Yeah, but that thing, them glass things fall 15 feet to the ground. It's gonna have a scratch at least. It fell 3 times that night, and then a glass that was 2 feet on the counter on a dry towel slid off and actually broke all over the floor. So I mean, it was weird.
Damn. So since you've been in the paranormal field, how do you feel about paranormal groups today compared to when you started getting interested in working in the paranormal?
Well, when I first got interested in it a long time ago, I didn't see any. I wasn't watching the TV shows like there is today. The Ghost Adventures, the Ghost Hunters, the Ghost Lab. I mean, they're making. Me personally, I think they're going a little bit overboard with all these shows because you know that it wouldn't be an interesting show unless they produce something out of nothing, per se. I think back in back when I first got into it, I think just hearing the stories and researching and trying to get just simple little things was a lot more exciting than turning on the TV every week and watching these guys produce results every single show they have. So, I mean, you know, there's possibility that there's some things on these TV shows that's real, but I think it's mostly just entertainment for today. I think groups like Black Diamond, who don't do it for the glory, we do it for answers, we do it to help people out, and when we find results, we're extremely excited, and it's just an awesome experience. I think I like that better than trying to be a glory hound and being on TV and everything.
Yeah, I agree. Robin, get out of the bathroom.
I'm not.
Well, it sounds like you're
not.
in the bathroom.
I'm exhausted.
You only got a little bit more to go. That's all.
Yeah, just 34 more minutes, girl. Hang in there.
I am.
Now, I do got to say that if anybody wants to come and chat with me, I'll be working the booth tomorrow at the Bigfoot conference for Black Diamond.
Yes, he's graciously going to sit there and help us out because me and Robin's got to go out and try to get some sponsorships, and so CC's going to be there representing all of us, and I do greatly appreciate that because it being on a Friday, it's hard to find anybody that with work and school and family. It's really hard to find somebody, and I appreciate you stepping up and helping us with that.
Thank you. So
no
everybody
problem.
come out and see CC and get to meet him. He's a great guy.
Yeah, come on out talk with me. I've actually got to talk with the group that just joined from South Carolina tonight, and she's a nice lady. We want to pray for her daughter because her daughter's really sick with kidney stones. And I've met a lot of cool people that's being a part of this. It's really fun to be a part of. So come on out and talk to me and have a good time. And you guys set me up, and I'll just, like I said, I can talk all day long with people. So.
Right. That's the thing. That's the key right there. Just talk. A lot of times.
Oh yeah. Well, I spend most of my life on stage, so I got that covered, I think.
Good, because you'll do a lot of it.
That's
do you
right.
prefer old school methods of investigating, or do you prefer the new technology that a lot of groups are using?
I'm kind of old school. I'm 38 years old. I like to sit and feel, and just sit in a dark room with a chair in the middle of the floor and just close my eyes and try to feel what's going on. I like the old research method, going to a library or going to a records room and trying to pull up the records on an old place. All this new equipment, the K2 meters and the spirit boxes and the ovuluses and all that stuff is great because it helps you out a lot. But it's nothing like being old school and actually getting your hands dirty and trying to get results that way too.
I agree. I like it that way too. So what's your, on your opinion, what is your favorite type of evidence to capture? Would it be audio, video, or still camera, or what's your favorite way to capture evidence? What really excites you when you get it?
Well, most of the time I'm carrying around the digital recorder and doing EVP sessions. I'm a klutz when it comes to trying to walk and talk at the same time with a camcorder or anything. So when I've got the digital recorder myself, every time I go back and check the EVPs, I think an EVP is probably the most exciting thing for me because I like to hear something respond to me when I ask a question.
Yes, I agree. I love it too. I love to catch EVPs. They are awesome.
Yeah. Now, we did the Legion twice, and, my wife, even though she doesn't like to be a part of the paranormal stuff, does have sensitivity to it, and she's claimed she saw an apparition, a full-bodied apparition sitting in a chair one night. And, I was kind of jealous because I wish I could have seen that too, but, I'll take a voice over that too any day.
Yes.
So, I know this is kind of jumping back, but What is your opinion that makes a great leader for a group, such as yours and, and other groups out there?
Well, I think a leader has to be ambitious, has to take control of the situation. It has to actually plan ahead and actually have a plan for the different situations that could come up and that it can arise. You have to have a plan. So what if this goes wrong? What if this goes right? What if, we get something here? What if, somebody shows up and contaminates this, that, and the other? I mean, you have to be willing to accept all responsibility for everything that happens. You got to have planning skills. You got to have the scheduling times. You have to be a good communicator between your team. And also, you got to be a good friend and teammate. I mean, it's different than a real job. I mean, a real job, I've always heard that you can't be friends with your workers because that just ruins it. Here you can be, because this is your team. This is the team that you put together. This is a team that you trust. This is your family. So treat your team like family. But when, family fights, everybody fights in their family. If someone says they don't, then they're lying. You're always going to have a disagreement with your family, but it's how you handle it and how you solve it.
Yeah, that's true. Well, with your group, what kind of investigation techniques are you going to use, such as scientific, religious, metaphysical, or spiritual-based, when you go into your all's investigations?
Well, the first thing we do, I am an ordained minister, excuse me, and I try to keep some things spiritual, but only if it arises. We do pray before we go in for guidance. We pray for safety. Usually Holly goes in first to a building or to a room and sits there and gets a feeling of the place. We use a lot of feeling as far as sensitivity goes. And then once we do that, we actually let Holly write down some things that she feels and then puts it off to the side. And then we go back after the investigation is done and see how many things that she wrote down actually happened or are actually correct or what she hit dead on. So I think we take the old school approach. We do have some new equipment that we just used. We have dowling rods. We have digital recorders, camcorders, digital cameras. We have spirit boxes. We've ordered some new equipment that hasn't got here yet, but we're excited about using thermal imaging cameras. But as far as, I've had a couple cases where we've had not resting on the spirit box, and I asked them if I could do a prayer to help them rest. Read the last rites from the Bible. I mean, that's one thing, another way that I can help the spirits if they're not resting. So we try to do a little bit of everything and mix the old and the new together.
That's awesome. Yeah, I would really like to go with y'all one night and see how y'all do it. I love, even though we basically do, as you know, we try to stick to the scientific part of it, but I really would like to start looking into more metaphysical and see how that's done, because that fascinates me.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. We might have a pre-Civil War mansion that we've talked to a doctor that Holly knows up by the James River. It has the original slave quarters chimney. The slave quarters itself is broken down now, but the chimney is still standing. It has original barns. It has 6 rooms. It has a cavern in the back, a cemetery, family cemetery. So, we're going to need a couple more people to go with us, and we were talking about getting you and Rodney to come, and then you can see the way we do things, and then we can introduce the way you guys do things and mix them together.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be awesome. So
Yeah.
what are some of your favorite places that you have investigated?
Well, right now, just getting started, we've done the Bristol American Legion. I have a lot of friends. I played on a dart league, and I sing karaoke, and I sang in a band. So I've used a lot of my contacts from the other activities to get places. We've done the Bristol American Legion twice. We've done a gentleman's house that his doctor friend passed away, and he was having issues at his house, which turned out really, really cool. And we've been to a couple private residences, and that we're now in talks with the lady about the pre-Civil War mansion. I'd love to get in. I only live a half a mile away from Nickerson Sneed House, so I know you guys been there before. Yeah. I mean, Holly and I both. I live a half a mile from one way, and she lives a half a mile from the other way from Nickerson Sneed House. So meeting in the middle, we would love to get in there. She's been in there once before. I'm kind of jealous about that, but I would love to get in there. I keep hearing stories about it.
Oh yeah, it's
back in there.
Yeah,
so,
we get back in there in November.
And then just there's a lot of cool places. I would love to go home to Maryland because they have a lot of railway stations and subway stations and caverns and caves, and they have all kinds of places that I would love just to go home and investigate for a weekend. But it's just trying to get the funds to go home when you're doing this for free. It's kind of hard,
Yeah. Well, that brings me up to kind of like my next question is what is the one location you would love to investigate anywhere in the country?
Oh man, I would have to say the prison over in West Virginia.
Working on it.
Yeah, I mean any of those. I watch Ghost Adventures more than Ghost Hunters. I've actually met the ghost hunting team because I'm from Maryland, and we have Fort Delaware over where I used to live. It was only like 25-minute ride. It's called Pea Patch Island. So I would love to go there because it's close to my home and close to my heart. But the Ghost Hunters team actually went over there. I met Steve, I met Jason, I met Grant. And what you do is it's really cool is you take a ferry ride across the lake to get to the fort, and then you take a tractor ride, a hay-bound tractor ride to the Civil War fort. And it's the prisons, it's the quarters for the soldiers, and everything. And we actually stood on the other side of the lake while they were doing their live broadcast from Fort Delaware, where they actually got evidence. And I would love to get in there too because it's home.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it was really cool that night. I got to meet all them guys, talk to them about everything, and then I tried to sneak my way into the Ghost Hunters group, but they weren't going for it at that point. So. But Fort Delaware, they call it Pea Patch Island. They have like lures that the grounds, the island itself was grown out of like pea sprouts and everything, and it formed the ground and everything like that. But there's a lot of lures to that place, but it's really, really cool.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
All right, CC, I'm going to pitch you on the spot, buddy.
All right. I'm ready for you.
To some of the new people. So, how do you feel about Rodney being the big boss man? How do you feel about Rod?
I like Rod. He's down to earth, man, and he likes to joke around, and he just creates a cool, calm atmosphere. So I'm all cool with Rodney. I've been very respectful and professional to him ever since I met him. And, it's cool, man. As long as we have that professional relationship and we can joke around with each other like we have been, that he's okay by me, man. He's an awesome leader.
Oh, thank you. You're making me blush.
Yeah, sure. You sure that's not the heat?
Oh, man. You know what? In the past 2-3 months, we've expanded and met so many, new people like you and Holly and Tara and Melinda and Josh and Brianna. I mean, my God, it's grown leaps and bounds within just a few weeks, and you all bring so much to the table that before we never really, excuse me, we talked about it, but where you're sensitive, Holly's a sensitive, and some other people in the groups are sensitive or empaths. It ain't that we were closed off to it. It's just we always try to stick scientifically with it. But you all have opened up another door for us, and I think it's a great thing for the future for all of us.
Right, and that we're willing to work with anybody. I mean, and Holly and I have talked about it. When we add people, they don't have to be knowledgeable about the paranormal world as long as they're willing to. I realize that this is something real. There's a lot of people out there who laugh when I tell them that I have a paranormal group. They laugh at us. They make jokes, and I just tell them, I said, if you really don't believe in what I do, then please just don't talk to me about it. I'll be your friend for music, or because I have a lot of so-called friends when it comes to me playing music and whatever I got coming up. I'll have plenty of friends as far as that goes, but. This is the paranormal world is something near and dear to my heart, and I really feel like I can teach that. I'm at the point now where I want to teach people how to deal with it and how to work with it and how to grow into it. And you don't even have to be you don't have to be a sensitive. Holly and I can teach anybody as long as they have an open mind, an open heart, and they're willing to help people. We can bring them in. We can start them out holding cameras, doing technical work, doing research work. That's how you build. That's how you grow. I mean, you have to start at the bottom and work your way up, just like everything in this world.
Yep, you're right. So if you ever decided to move away from Virginia, what would you do with your group? Would you train someone to take it over, or would you would you just shut it down?
No, not at all. First I would ask Charlie if he wants to take it over. And then wherever I moved, then that would just be another chapter of Black Diamond Paranormal from that state wherever I'm at.
Good point. Get out of the bathroom again. Daggone it. She can't stay out the shit.
My voice is hoarse.
It sounds like you're in the bathroom and you're like holding the phone way away.
No, I'm laying on my bed.
Oh, she's about ready to pass out on us. That's all. No, I'm happy with being a part of Black Diamond Paranormal. So whatever state I move to, I would love to take my group with me. But if I have to start another group, it'll be under Black Diamond Paranormal from wherever we are. So that's my goal. I don't. Why leave a good thing? You know what I mean?
Oh, damn, you're making me blush again. He got better answers than Scott. Scott's fired.
Now look, I just met Scott, so we finally got along now. So let's just keep that going, all right?
I'm just pissed.
Hey, we had a good time when we did the walkthrough on the cemetery. We actually got a lot of good responses that day. We walked through the cemetery together.
That is my most favorite place to be. I do. I love that cemetery. We were doing a quiz one day a couple weeks ago, and one of the questions was, I was supposed to ask Jeff, and it said, if I was upset, where's the one place I would go? Where's the one my favorite place? The first thing he said was Pocahontas Cemetery.
That's right. And it was really cool. We were getting a lot of things. We were getting things about soldiers. We actually got lamb and child, and when we looked down, there was a headstone there with a stone lamb on top of it, and there was a child that died 10 days after it was born. So we were getting a lot of intelligent responses that day.
That cemetery is just freaking amazing. I'm just so thankful that the town gave us permission. So this year, when we do the haunted tours, we can actually take people in there at night. Granted, they could walk on the road. They can't go within the cemetery, walking in the graves and stuff. But just walking around, you will experience something. That's for damn sure.
And if you don't, there's something wrong with you. I mean, you got to walk into this thing, and you got to walk to the cemetery and free your mind, just clear your mind of all your thoughts, because most of the time, if you don't feel something, it's because your mind is cluttered with other thoughts. And, you know, you have to clear your mind. You have to free your mind for everything. Just open it up to different situations.
Yep.
That's true. So where do you think the future of the paranormal world is headed?
Well, you know, as far as the TV world, I mean, I think it's kind of hurting it a little bit because there's so many shows that they're trying to put up there to, well, they got Ghost Hunters, Ghost Adventures, Ghost Lab. They've got Paranormal something or other. I can't remember that show, but they've got a new with two colored guys that are brothers getting ready to do a paranormal show. I think they're kind of they're burning it out as far as people watching TV. And that's putting a bad taste in people's mouths saying, oh, this is all fake, this is all fake. But if you go away from the TV and you get to the groups like Black Diamond and like us over here, Southern Harmony, and get down to the nitty-gritty and get down to the bare minimum, I think that we still have plenty of work that we can do. There's plenty of places in your local area that if you just go to the board meetings or go to the town meetings, that they're wanting answers. I mean, there's a lot of places like the Washington County Moose Lodge that had a double murder there in their bingo hall. That, you know, if you just go in there and talk to them, that you can get in there and investigate. So as far as the TV realm, I think it's killing it. But as far as the the not TV and you go to real groups like Black Diamond, I think it's growing strong.
Yeah, that's true. So, is your group planning on doing any like local community events like we do when we go to these events, like Bluefield Jamboree, Burke's Garden Fall Festival, and stuff like that? Y'all plan on doing anything like that in a near future?
Yeah, we've sat and talked about it. We still have to get flyers for Black Diamond, and we have to get all the paperwork and everything. That way we can be ready when we do go to one of these events. Like I said, I have something else coming up that's going to take my time away just a little bit, but it's going to be well worth it. And, maybe I can sneak Black Diamond into that also, so that'll give more publicity. But in the meantime, we're going to try to help out with the home Black Diamond, like me going down to the Bigfoot thing tomorrow, and Holly is going to help do the walkthrough and do that, and hopefully I can come down and do that myself. Mm-hmm. And then we'd like to get a couple more members. That way we can all four or all three or whoever get around these little local areas. We got Rhythm and Roots here that we could set up at. They have flea markets every Saturday here in Abingdon. That's just huge that we could set up and do things like that. So we've definitely talked about getting out there and advertising.
Oh,
well,
that's awesome.
Well, if someone is interested in joining the group, how would they contact you, CC?
Well, there's a couple different ways. I'm on Facebook, of course. Facebook is like the biggest social media thing now, so they can go under and look up CC Clevenger, Charlie Clevenger. It's a picture of me and my mama on there, so and I'm wearing a CC hat, so they can find me on Facebook and get a hold of me, private message me. They can get a hold of Holly Minton on Facebook. If people want to log in to ReverbNation.com and look up CC Clevenger, they can see my musical world. I have videos and music on there. Then just hit that Become a Fan button there. They can find me on YouTube under Charlie Clevenger. Or, you can get on Black Diamond's Paranormal Facebook page. Make sure you go over there and give them a click and like that button. And if they want my number, Rodney feel free to give it out so they can have more questions about that. So I'm available pretty much everywhere.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, I know you've mentioned a little bit about you being a singer, and you've done some wrestling. We got a few minutes. Can you talk about your music career, what got you started in it, and also your wrestling career that you had or have?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. My music career started at 7 years old. I was on stage first time at 7 years old at my dad's company picnic. He got me on stage, and I imitated Conway Twitty because that's the first person I ever heard. My grandfather Clevenger introduced me to Conway Twitty first. So I just, every day I grabbed the hairbrush and got in front of the mirror because I had one of them little Conway Twitty afros going on when I was younger. And actually, the first grade, I went, my mom and dad lived in Delaware, Newcastle, Delaware. And I went to first grade, and I actually got held back in first grade because all I wanted to do was sing. And that's all I did. I never learned nothing in first grade in Delaware because I would just sing Conway Twitty all day long. And the teacher told me that I had to stop singing and do my schoolwork, and I told her that my mama said I could sing whenever I want, so shut up. So my, of course, mom and dad got pulled into the parent-teacher conferences, and at that time they were moving to Maryland, so I had to start first grade over again, and they had to tell me that, you know, schoolwork and music has to be a compromise. So I've been doing music. My thing is music's my life, and life is my music. I've had really good jobs. I've probably worked about 60 or 70 jobs over my whole life, and always quit because I couldn't get off for a gig that made $50 on a Friday night. So, you know, all these years I've been in some great bands. I've had one of my brothers it's been a year ago, a couple days ago, that I lost my biggest supporter as far as the musicians go, Dennis Maxwell. He was my musical brother. He died of cancer, and it's still hurts to this day, man. He helped me write my first song, my original song, and you know, him and I are kindred spirits, and I still feel him to this day. But he taught me how to perform on stage and how to, you know, project my voice and how to use be me. Don't imitate everybody else because they're already out there. Be yourself. So I mean, him teaching me and him being my musical brother, he's made me the man I am today on stage, and people tell me I'm a monster. We just my band now that I'm with is called Jigsaw Jane, and we just opened up for Folk Soul Revival and the Black Lilies over in Marion in front of about 5,000 people about a month ago. So it's been fun. But then I have another great thing coming that I can't talk about yet, but it'll be a solo career. And then as far as wrestling goes, I've always been a wrestling fan. My favorite wrestler, The Undertaker, I got to meet him in Knoxville. I lived in Knoxville for a year, and I got to meet him one night. I met his mom at a karaoke bar at the Elks Lodge, and I told her, you know, it's kind of a funny story because she was sitting there reading a magazine with him. And I said, yeah, that's my favorite wrestler. And she goes, yeah, that's my son. I'm like, yeah, keep on drinking. And next thing you know, he comes walking in about an hour later. And I'm like, oh, God, I just called his mama drunk. So I thought I was going to get my butt beat that night, but I didn't. But then moved back home to Maryland. Huh?
I love wrestling. My son, he's going to be a wrestler. He already has plans to go to a wrestling school when he graduates.
Well, you tell him I can teach him. You know, I am a trainer for wrestling, so.
He's all into it. That's what he wants to do as a profession. Now, my favorite, and I know nobody loves him anymore, but Jeff Hardy I love Jeff Hardy, and he's making a comeback. He's coming back.
Well, he's over in TNA now, and they've got him doing some weird things with his brother Matt that they're crazy and their mind is broken and stuff like that. But Jeff Hardy is one of the most extreme guys as far as wrestling goes. But as far as me, you know, I'm getting older. I got trained by Doink the Clown as a trainer from WCW. Mm-hmm. And in Maryland, I got into it just because I had my own DJ and karaoke business called Big Daddy Karaoke. That was my nickname up in Maryland. So if you go up there and you say Charlie Clevenger, nobody knows who you're talking about. But if you say Big Daddy, you know, that's me up here. So when I moved down south, they wouldn't let me call myself Big Daddy. They asked the crowd what they wanted to call me, and they came up with CC. I'm like, well, that's not original. But that's what I go by. That's what I go by down here, CC. So my mom has on her license plate CC's mama, or CC's mom.
Oh.
And yeah, my mom is my world. I'll tell you that right now, man. I'm a mama's boy. I'm a spoiled brat, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But she hates to hear me that I wrestle, or so I just don't tell her half the time now. I hope she's not listening right now. But yeah, I got down here and I joined the CWA out of Yeager, Virginia, or Yeager, West Virginia, and we're me and my tag team partner call ourselves Hardcore Inc. because we have tattoos, and I wear a big hard mask, like a skull mask, and spit foam out of my mouth when I come out to the ring and stuff. It's fun. And the September 3rd, we're going to be in Davie, West Virginia at the fire company down there putting on a show for everybody. So if everybody's a wrestling fan, they want to come out to Davie, West Virginia, and I'll be there. My partner will be there, and then they'll have some more guys out there. So we'll put on a show for you.
I'll get information from you tomorrow, because that's something Jacob would enjoy.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. Now that I'm older, when I wake up in the morning, I do not want to be touched. I'll tell you that. I mean, if I can roll, if I look like a turtle when in the mornings after a wrestling match, I'm like just wobbling around on my back. It's like, oh my God, why did I do that? I'm stupid. But it's.
And I don't even wrestle.
I'm an entertainer, man. I mean, I love it. I love entertaining for a crowd. I'll put my body on the line. I'll put everything on the line, because if the crowd gets into it and they're entertained and they love it, then it makes me feel good. So deep down in my heart, I'm an entertainer, and that's what I am. So.
Well, is there anything else you'd like for anybody to know about you that we didn't cover, or any contact information or anything like that?
Yeah, sure. Well, I can give out if anybody's interested in joining. We live over in the Abingdon, Virginia, Glade Springs, Virginia way. They can get a hold of me at charleswalterclevenger@gmail.com. Clevenger is Clevenger, Charles Walter. It's all one word, at Gmail. They can email me. They can find me on Facebook. I have no problems with meeting up with people and talking to people. I'll get Holly to come with us. We'll sit down if they're interested. I just ask that it's serious inquiries, serious interest. I mean, you have to don't come up there and just say, oh, yeah, I see ghosts all the time and blah, 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 because I'll know you're full of crap then. So, but if you're definitely interested and you're definitely serious about it, contact me. I mean, that's all you can do is talk. All we can do is talk, and if I'll bring you on an investigation, the first time, and just to try it out, see if you like it, see if we work together. And if you work, hey, come join the group, because it's a great group to be on. Other than that, I mean, just we're building. We're going to have a website up here soon with Southern Harmony Paranormal. That's our little group out of Abingdon and Glade Springs. We'll have some T-shirts and stuff available soon. And just remember, tomorrow at the Bigfoot Conference at Hungry Mothers Park in Marion, Virginia, come out and see me. I'll be there working the booth. I think, what's the time? It starts at 9 o'clock, right?
Yeah, I think it's 9 to 5.
9 to 5. So I'll be there from 9 to 5. Come on out. If you work out and you want to join in, we'll have applications then. So come on out and see me, man. I'll be there, and I'll be there all day. I might even let you take over the booth while I use the bathroom. You never know.
Well, CC, I appreciate you coming on the show, bud, and I'll see you in the morning. We're about out of time. So, again, thank you for coming on the show, bud.
Hey, no problem, and I thank you for having us, and hopefully we'll see you soon, and I'll see you tomorrow. Robin, get some sleep, darling. I'll see you tomorrow, too, hopefully.
I will. I'll see you tomorrow.
Well, thank you, guys. Thank you, listeners, and just remember Black Diamond Paranormal. Give them a like on Facebook, and find me on ReverbNation.com and click that Become a Fan button for me, guys, and God be with everybody, and thank you very much.
Well, thank you, bud. Well, that's it for us tonight. I want to thank CC Clevenger for coming on the show, and thank everyone for listening in. Big shout out to Vibe Radio Network and to the first responders and the men and women in the armed services. Thank you all for your service. Our guest next Thursday night, September 1st, will be the world-renowned spiritual deliverance minister, exorcist, known as the Spiritual Warrior. So turn in to next week's show.
Yo, everybody get up! Everybody get up! Everybody needs to understand that I'm more than simply a hype man for this rap group, just like Geico is more than just a company that can save you money. Geico also has fast and friendly claim service, so they can help you when you need it most. And while I do love being a hype man, I also love reading for children's audiobooks. Like Little Bo Peep, she lost a sheep, and she don't know where to find them. Yo!
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.